Maiyegun làwa mọ̀, láwọn tó dòdòdò.
Thank you so much for joining.
Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í kó níbẹ̀ o. Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Maiyegun máa wí.
Thank you so much. Invite your friends. Tell them Maiyegun is live.
Maiyegun diary Politico. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun diary. Ẹ fara balẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹ́gọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu. Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀
tó jòdòdò. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Maiyegun live. And if you have been following the news as usual, you probably have seen the press release organized by Tinubu, a press release that has finally put him in his place where he truly belongs. A saboteur, enemy of Yoruba people. Now, let me tell you something tonight from wherever you are watching from. You see, most of what we do, or the result of what we do in enlightening the people, exposing what these guys, the myth around them, things that makes them look like they are different when they are not. And so far, so good. People have seen through the charade, they have seen through the fraud, they have seen through the lies of those who have been parading themselves as leaders here, leaders there, elders here, elders there. We have seen many of them for who they are, fraudulent people. I mean, fraudulent people. Now, today, we have the opportunity of hearing from those who possibly still believe that they actually speak for the majority of the people. They never spoke for majority. And for those of you who actually know their story, Tinubu never really controls anywhere. The only thing that gives them control is the violence that is associated with them, which many of you know about. When you look at them, they call themselves progressives. Meanwhile, they are actually progressives. These guys are not progressive in any way. These are fraudulent, manipulative, one chance rent seekers who have been using the name of Yoruba people, claiming to be speaking for the Yorubas. What we do on Maiyegun's diary and on so many on so many other platforms like this, that many of you considered as a rant. Well, those people who are concerned, to those whom is concerned, or to those whom are concerned, they are not saying the same thing. We have done so well that we have demystified all of the lies, all of the faboos, all of the fraudulent representation and misrepresentation that these guys have represented for the past 22 years. We have done so well that people no longer really rate them. But the only thing left is to gain or garner enough people who are going to then take it up with them. But they still believe that they control everybody. They don't. They don't. The only thing that makes them feel like they control is because of the violence. Their elections are of violence, bloodletting, war. That's what they call progressive elections. So go to anywhere in Yoruba land. Go and check all their history of election, manipulation, rigging, vote buying, and so many other horrible things that you should never, by any means, associate with progressives. You can only associate such with progressives. And that is where the Tinubu and Co belong to. You see, These were the guys, like, it seems to be like forever. We were not alive in the 60s. I wasn't there in the 70s. I was born in the 80s, 1984, precisely from the beginning of 1984, January. That was when I came to be and realized that I have been birthed in a country where criminals have stolen my future, even before I was given birth to. And that is the story of many, many of us. They stole our future for themselves because they thought they had the right to decide for us, and they have been deciding for us. So even if we can't remember all of that, we remember vividly 1999. What brought these guys to prominence again? Oh, Yoruba this, Yoruba that, right? Oh, Yorubas are not going to agree. If we are going to still be part of Nigeria, you must give us this, you must give us that, blah, 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 in the name of Yoruba people. Because they said, Yoruba people are this, we are that, we're supposed to be this. These criminals, oh, they were driving or riding on the back of Yorubas must be compensated in Nigeria, or else they were going to break away. So Afenifebi, Afenifonje, and all these Afenifere and all these guys, they were the machineries using Yoruba. It was a bigger force. They forced the Fulani terrorists to agree to hand over power to a Yoruba man, but a Yoruba man of their own choosing. So a Yoruba man started PDP, registered PDP. A Yoruba man, the same Yoruba man, was the one behind the registration of AD. Who was this Yoruba man? Bola Ige, a product of Afenifere. Tinubu, who was part of that. They were championing Yoruba must be this, Yoruba must be that. Yoruba, you know what I mean? Like Yoruba this, Yoruba that. Just like I'm doing right now. But mine is not that Yoruba must be this or that in Nigeria. Let Yoruba be whatever we want to be on our own, on our terms, in our own time. That's the difference. But they were riding on that. And the Fulani terrorists were like, okay, fine. What we are going to do is that you, Bola Ige, register this, give it to the Yorubas, you know, and then register this. Now we own this one. Now we will choose the president. That was how Obasanjo became your president. You know the whole arrangement, by the way, for those who knows. Tinubu and co, they rode on the background that Yorubas have been so shortchanged in Nigeria, especially in the 90s. To compensate them for the death of Abiola and so many other people they collected money to kill, they decided to join the democracy. This democracy was supposed to give us true federalism. That's what they said, though. True federalism means the Yorubas will be in charge of our destiny. We'll be in charge, we'll be working, we'll be having a federal republic, right? But the Yorubas, all of us will just be on our own, do our thing. The Igbos, the Biafrans, they will do their own thing, right? The Arewas, they will do their own you know what I mean? That was what they told the Yorubas, oh, that they will fight for this, they will fight for that, make military go first. We didn't know that fraudsters were those who were championing Yoruba this, Yoruba that. When they came to that power, they started sacrificing themselves. This one, this Tinubu, you know, I mean, even for those of you who know Funshaw Williams, Abi, to this day, Funshaw Williams, a true born of Lagos State, somebody who is a true born, was murdered because of those who Tinubu get to pay regularly in order to bury the truth. So they killed the guy, all to keep power and to keep people poor. It's been 21, 22 years now for democracy. So how far with the Yorubas? And when was the last time that you saw this same Afenifeku? Do you know what Tinubu did when he became their governor in Lagos State? The first assignment he did was to make sure that it destroyed that same AD. You know why? Because those in control of Alliance for Democracy, AD at the time, they were those who were part of those who ruled Nigeria, ruled Yoruba land, in the late, in the 60s, 70s. They were the brain think tank behind, even behind what do you call it? The Yoruba, what do you call it? Yoruba's interest in that, what they call Nigeria anyway. So he wanted to control for whatever God knows what that we have now found out, right? Tinubu conspired and destroyed Alliance for Democracy completely until he floated his own party that would then make him, right, the new overlord in Yoruba land. They killed those they could kill, and those who eventually just bowed out because they couldn't stand the machinery of the thugs, the weapons, and all of that Tinubu was amassing then, right? AD died a natural death. They've been trying to revive it. It never came back again. So he started AC. So that gave him the opportunity to present himself, right? At least they will control Lagos State. And the same AC, which later turned to ACN. You remember? Now, the same ACN, they started the campaign, the project of taking over the entire southwest Nigeria for one man, so that it can be in better position to say, if you are talking to Yoruba people, talk to me. And what was the program? What were the policies? What were the programs of Tinubu for all this period, including the areas they managed to do their vote buying? You see all these things that they share money, share food, share all of that. All these guys brought that about, Tinubu and co. Now, this is what they call leadership. And this is what his agents, they have promoted in Yoruba land for the past 22 years, where people have to go and queue, right, to collect a cup of rice, cup of beans, a bag of, to vote and consider that as their own dividend of democracy. So they now entrench this more in Yoruba land. So the Yoruba people, the Yoruba voters, many of them who are not really educated enough, especially have any electoral education. Tinubu and co, they did not do what the likes of Awolowo did. The Awolowo educated the Yorubas. Yorubas were able to decide and determine what is right from what is wrong, morally, ethically, and then faithfully. So people were able to say, this is wrong. If you associate with it, you will be tagged this. But what Tinubu and co promoted is not education. They promoted a total illiteracy, whereby the only thing that you should aspire to be, it doesn't matter who you are. The only thing you should aspire to be is to get money. It doesn't matter how you make that money. And if you can have that money, then everything will be, the land will be soft for you. That mentality of once you have money, the people will love you. When people love you, you have a chance of becoming a big politician. This is what they promoted in Yoruba land for 22 years. Agbero increased in Lagos, spread to other places, became the second tier of government in Yoruba land. Now, when you see Agberos, they are now role models to so many other educated young Yorubas in Yoruba land. 22 years, Yoruba land became underdeveloped even more. Politically, they have more people involved in politics. They have more senators. They have more rep members. They have those past governor, present governor, and all of that, right? They have all manner of political office holders who have also turned out to be, scavengers and scroungers, freeloaders on the system. That is what they created for 22 years. Now, look at the education system in Yoruba land. Terrible, Abi. And look at the infrastructural development in Yoruba land. Absolute trash, Abi. They are talking about the poverty in Nigeria, unemployment in Nigeria. It is only in southern Nigeria where Yoruba land is situated, where these guys have been in charge. Now, for these 22 years, when he finally killed those that he believed that could tell his stories, right? Destroyed them and did all of that. Then his expansion project began. How they were going to take Ogun State, how they were going to take Oyo State, how they were going to take Osun State, how they were going to take Ekiti, take Ondo, and bring them all together, not to bring them together as one Yoruba, united, developing Yoruba land. No, it is for one political ego of one man which has brought nothing but misery, right? Misery, poverty, unemployment, destruction to Yoruba land for the past 22 years. But I believe so many of his hallelujah boys, all these hallelujah boys, right? These Lagos Abobakus, all these Oshogbu Alimajiris, all these on-boot slaves, obedient fools, sophisticated morons that are possibly rooting for him right now, they will disagree with me. But guess what? They know that they are living in the poverty capital of the world. And Yoruba land is part of that poverty capital of the world, Nigeria. They are living in the country where they are considered the most terrorized people in the entire Africa, the third most terrorized people in the whole world. Yoruba land is part of that. And you all know why, Abi. Now, they will disagree with me because they have promoted Baba Sokwe, all right, sir, Tinubu, Jagaban, Jaga bandit, Jaga wiri, Jaga idiot, Jaga criminal, and all of that. They will do all of that and say, where is your father? And I ask, maybe if your father did a little job, a little, just tiny one, maybe you would never grow up as possibly as educated, as little as your education is, right? You would never grow up, okay, and continue to say, all right, sirs, for the same people who have turned you to prayer warriors. You believe that people are against your destiny. You believe that some people in your village, they have attached your destiny, or they have nailed your destiny to the tree. Or some people will tell you, oh, you can never make it anymore in life, forget it. Because those people, the thing they did to you, they have thrown it in the river and it never looked back again. You know what? You believe them because that is the society, the likes of Tinubu and co. That is the society they have created for you. A society that makes you so much appreciative when they finally build you a public toilet, or when they finally repainted your primary schools, okay? Or when they finally changed the roof of that dilapidated building that is housing the community clinic. Then you have to start praising God. Like, let's praise God. Let's pray to God to give them more wisdom. That is the society they created. That is the society that gave them power. That is the society that make them look intelligent. That is the society that makes them ignore the danger that all of you are into right now. A danger, existential danger that doesn't even put the Lagos state in any position safer. Today, well, they released a statement. This old bunch of old, haggard, unthinking, ungrateful, selfish, and then greedy criminals that we call Yoruba leaders. I mean, they are not Yoruba leaders, but they are leaders from Yoruba of APC. Tinubu decided to call a meeting. And he's doing this, not because he's any smart in any way. That is why we're going to look into it now. Let me tell you something. Some people will say, we should never insult elders. They are wrong. In Yoruba land, where I come from, okay, I am not one of those born humbled slaves. Look at me very well. I am what you can call Ogidi, Omo Yoruba, Omo tí wọ́n ti inú ìwà bí, ọmọlúwàbí Yoruba. And I will explain to you, because I know that culture very well. In Yoruba land, there is something called Bibire. Bibire is what we call Koshe Fiowora. Bibire, in what I can simply put as being born as how, let me put it as being born upright enough. And being born upright means to know what is wrong from what is right, avoid what is wrong, and do what is right. If you are caught up doing what is wrong, accept responsibility and apologize, then change. That is what is called Bibire in Yoruba land. And Yoruba says, when you are born right, you will do right. And if you are born wrong, you will never grow up to do the right thing. And baby, even no matter how rich you are, it doesn't matter how wealthy you are, right? Or how powerful you think you are. If you are never born well, you can never turn out well. And in the same Yoruba land, they said, tí ìlú kan bá ń tòrò, àwọn ọmọ àlè ibẹ̀ ni wọn tí ì dàgbà. Tí ilé kan bá ń tòrò, àwọn ọmọ àlè ibẹ̀ ò ì dàgbà ni. Simply put, if there is peace in any household, just believe that the bastards in that household, they are still, babies. They are yet to grow up. Once they grow up, they will display the character of their true fathers that will, obviously tell that they don't belong here. That is where Tinubu belonged to. In Yoruba land, Yoruba are so cultured. Let me tell you this. Until these criminals came, until they put money above everything, right? In Yoruba land, when we were growing up, we were told, right, that if you see a thief, and that thief dressed in the most expensive loins and clothes, right? And he is wearing the most expensive jewelries. Remember, he's a thief, right? And he is driving the most expensive automobile. Or maybe he has his own flight jet, the air toy. He has his own private jet. But do you know one thing? In Yoruba land, Yoruba says he is still a thief. Do you understand? It doesn't matter. However, a thief appear. Okay? And it doesn't matter. Even if a thief appears as a nobleman, intelligent man, do not be deceived. In Yoruba land, Yoruba says, tí ọmọ olè bá da àrán borí, aṣọ olè ló dàbora. Simply put, when you see a well-dressed, noble-like thief that approach you, do not accord him any respect of noblemen. He is a thief. He stole everything. He never owns anything. And that is where Tinubu and co, that is where they belong to. In Yoruba land, we were told to never honor thieves. Even when they turn around to start doing charity work like Tinubu, you must never honor a thief. Once you realize how much a thief has stolen and from who, and the consequences of what they have stolen for himself, you will never, ever sit wherever they are praising a thief. In Yoruba land, kings are revered. Kings are believed to be second to God. In Yoruba land, we are so much in obedience to our gods. If you are a genuine, even if you are a Christian, a Muslim, once they tell you that no cross that shrine, behave, you will behave yourself, except if you are a bastard in Yoruba land. It doesn't matter how you think. Yes. A king is as powerful as the gods. Do you know that in Yoruba land, if a king does wrong, they will ask the king, we would ask our king to go and open the calabash in the next 7 days. Do you know what that means? It means he has brought disgrace to the town. He has brought disgrace to the throne. He has brought disgrace to his family. And it is better to commit suicide. And within 7 days, no matter how powerful that king is, no matter who you think he is, no matter how spiritual I think he is, they will take him down. He will commit suicide. That is to tell you how much, when we were growing up, how much Yorubas, how much, how much regard Yorubas have for our culture. It is pretty much like our religion. Do you understand? Ways of curtailing those who have power on our behalf. Even when they think that we can't touch them, our culture allowed us to punish them when they are wrong. Tinubu has done worse for Yoruba people. It was Tinubu who brought about this Boko Haram by taking his ACN to go and join Al-Qaeda People's Congress, APC, Egbekegbe. And it was him who was jumping from one podium to the other, flying his private jet from one city to the other, community to another, telling the Yorubas that he had found something never seen before, something greater and first of its kind since the discovery of sliced bread. His name is Boko Haram, and he is a repentant, reformed Democrat. They exhume in their own greed. It was the same Tinubu who made deals while he was lying to us in Yoruba land. And so many of these today's Lagos Abobaku, Oshogbo Alimajiris, all these humbled slaves, obedient fools, sophisticated morons, and on and on and on, including their premium Buhari idiots abroad, the Abroadian Buhari diderins, the Mumu lecturers, the Bele lecturers, and the Mumu lecturers, and the Mumu Madrus of this world. It was the same Tinubu who went to Jolantan, Egbere Jolantan, in 2011 to collect $2 billion. It is on record when he sold Ribadu, the EFCC chairman. He's done so worse. Then the one he did in 2015 was the final. And what we are doing right now, it is not hating him. Let me tell you something. You see, the easy way for the humbled slaves, obedient fools, the Facebook adsmen, the social media bandits, and some of our brothers from Oshogbo, this Oshogbo Alimajiris, when you tell them something that will hurt them, eventually, they will say it's because you hate him. Where's your father? Let me tell you something, right? My father is dead. My mother is dead. And maybe if Nigeria was a better country, they would still be alive today. They were not poor. At least I know that of my father. It was just like a poor Nigerian who could feed himself because he built himself enough to sustain himself until his death. Okay? So, but my father never ran for any political office. My father never said he could fix your hospitals. My father never said he could fix your schools. My father never said or promised that he was going to build you good roads. He never said he had the capacity to do all of that. Tinubu and his gang, they came out boldly. They told you they would do that. My father was one of those who possibly believed that he could do it. His 3-story building in Ketu is still pretty much there. He was paying his tenement rate, that is a tax. Whenever he collected rent from his tenant, he also paid taxes to the same Lagos state government. Abi, everything he was doing when he was alive, Lagos state government of Tinubu was collecting money from him. He never promised you anything. No, he never did. So are many fathers of many of you. So when these Buhari idiots, when these Buhari Danes, Buhari Didenis, when these Buhari Dinotus and the Buhari Dijatus, when they ask, where is your father? When you are trying to ask Tinubu, whose entire family, his entire generation, they have been living off the free money, public money. And that's the free money, public money that make them look rich. They are poorer than all of you, if you have an idea. My father never asked to be your governor. He never. He was like an ordinary person like many of your fathers too, who were paying their taxes. And Tinubu was using the tax to build himself and his family. The life they have today, the life that has turned many of you to beggars, begging for 1,000 naira, 500 naira. So why should my father come and answer the question of somebody you paid for 22 years? You have been feeding him. Why should my father be the one to answer the question? Why should my father be guilty of what you deliberately, maybe your own father and your mothers, because they are the ones who are doing the Ẹgbẹ́ Òní APC, Ẹgbẹ́ Onígbàlẹ̀, Ẹgbàdànù, or maybe your fathers and your mothers, they are also at this party. My father is not in that video. Right? He's never there. So you see why some of them are as terrible as this dying, selfish bunch of old, greedy, senile, demented opportunists that you called leader. Well, they brought themselves out. They were speaking for the Yoruba people. They called a meeting that Yoruba governors should become the Southwest governors. Akeredolu didn't go. Fayemi didn't go. But they later came out that day was impromptu. And in their verdict, they now gave the prepared speech to this one. I don't even know his age. The one that is always, even if he's sad, he will always open his teeth. If anything happens, terrible happen in his family, he will still open his teeth. He will think he's happy. He's not happy. They are all freeloaders. We actually thought these guys were for us until we see through them and we realize that they are fraudsters, but they are not giving up. So they are not speaking for me. But this is what they have to say today. Listen, word for word, I'll be back.
And the governors here
Concerned about the state of the nation, particularly the serious security challenges facing the country. All progressives Congress leaders in the Southwest met in Lagos on Sunday, May 24, 2021. The meeting was characterized by open and frank discussions of the difficulties now facing Nigeria. Based upon these deliberations, the following points of agreements were reached. The leaders commiserate with and condole the President and Commander-in-Chief, President Muhammadu Buhari, the military authorities, families of the Chief of Army Staff, and other officers who died, and indeed the entire nation over last Friday's tragic plane crash in Kaduna. We express our strong opposition to separatist agitation and hate speeches, while urging those indulging in such to desist forthwith. We renew our belief in the unity, stability, and sustainability of the country. We note with significant concern the security situation in the country. Terrorism and violent criminality threaten many areas, adversely affecting the lives and livelihoods of too many innocent and peace-loving Nigerians. While mindful of the resource and other constraints facing the nation, we urge the federal government to continue to make the necessary expenditures and allocate sufficient resources to enable the military and security agencies to tackle the difficult security challenges confronting us. For Nigerian to overcome these challenges. We must do so with unity of purpose and action. The desire for peace and the chance for a prosperous and just society is universal and transcends all regional, religious, or ethnic divisions. Sadly, many public figures have made statements that spark division and undermine the needed unity of purpose. We urge government at all levels, security agencies, and public leaders across the country to do everything possible to prevent tension so that we sustain the necessary unity to defeat these challenges to our national security. All responsible Nigerians must speak and act in a manner that strengthens our common cause against these common threats to our collective peace, justice, and development. We restate our abhorrence of violence as a means to achieve either political or economic power and influence. We strongly condemn violence of any form in any part of the country, regardless of ethnic or regional identity of the perpetrators of the violence or of the victims. Government must do all it can to protect potential victims and to assist those who have previously been victimized by terrorism or widespread banditry. We hold to the view that through federalism, where more power and resources are allocated to the states, will be an essential part in strengthening society and improving democratic governance so that we beat the present challenges, but also engender durable peace and security. True federalism and the reallocation of resources and authority that comes with it will empower the states to solve localized issues before they spread and transform into national ones. In addition to mitigating political competition for control of the national government, greater federalism will empower grassroots economic development and political reforms that will stand as bulwarks against the terrorism and criminality now experienced in too many parts of the nation. A hallmark of the enhanced federalism will be the establishment of state police force. We endorse the position of the Southern governors taken at their May 11, 2021 summit in Asaba, Delta State, regarding ranching. We do so because such a decision will lessen tensions between farmers and herders, while also helping the long-term economic viability of both the farming and herding communities. We are mindful of the short-term dislocation this might cause, but are also mindful that this position is in the best interest of all parties concerned. We therefore recommend that the federal and state governments cooperate fully with each other to enact the necessary measures to encourage this more effective and modern method of cattle rearing so that both farmers and herders can pursue their livelihoods with greater productivity and in a more cooperative relationship that minimizes the friction between these two important pillars of our agricultural economy. We also thank traditional rulers for their important role in the polity and appeal to them to keep intervening in the maintenance of peace and stability.
You see that? Now, before I say what is what is actually on my mind about them, okay, I want to point out a few things which are just for the enlightenment and educational purpose now, okay? From the point they are raising, these were the point and the campaign slogan of APC. They said, including Tinubu, that was what Tinubu and co., that was what they were telling the Yorubas in 2015, through federalism, True federalism is what APC would do. And true federalism means there will be equitable distribution of wealth. There will be equitable distribution of, representation in government and even in government parastatals and all over. Okay, true federalism, including in the federal security. True federalism, state police. True federalism. Now look at them. Did you see them talking about the same thing? And they are actually talking like they are now opposition leaders who are now advising government to please do something about this. That's number one. The three of them. Tinubu is claiming to be 69. I hope you are not one of those who believe that. Are you? You better not. Have you seen the faces of all of them? Do you see any 69-year-old man among them? Let me show you quickly, just to remind, because there's something I want to say about that.
And the governors here
concerned about the state of the nation, particularly the serious security challenges facing the...
Have you seen their faces? These are men, old, tired, senile, and demented men in their 80s. Oshoba is over 80. Akonde is over 80. Tinubu is over 80. But look at them. Pictures don't lie. Yeah, you can have your football age or political age, whatever you want to call it. Right? These are now the men who stood before the cameras after they finished their meeting inside Tinubu's house. And they are now talking for the population of over 70 million people. They are talking about our future. Maybe if they are lucky enough, as much as money, with the money they have, and as much of free healthcare they can buy, maybe they will spend another 20 years. Then maybe you can then have Oshoba at maybe 104, Akonde maybe at 107, Tinubu maybe at 109. However, these are the guys talking about our future. And these were the same guys who were talking about the future 6 years ago. But you know one thing they left out in that what they were reading? They used a blanket statement to say the insecurity is spreading all over the country. So in order to stop that, they need to do something about true federalism. They need to do something about state police. They are talking about state police that many of them said the Yorubas have already got their state police with Amotekun, but they know they can't lie for too long. Do you get that now? So now they're asking for state police from Bukwari, their own party member, their own part of party leader. After 6 years, it is the fraud for me. And these are the guys who want to discuss about our future. If not because of Fulani terrorists who are now intimidating and kidnapping and killing our people in Yoruba land right now, there is a chance that if Yoruba land is working well, you in your 40s right now, there is a chance that you can still spend them more than that 20 years. And that future is what these guys are talking about. You know, they don't mean everything they said. They don't. They are begging, they are begging the Fulanis to please give them something to give back. The same Fulanis, the same Fulani terrorists who brought in Fulani terrorists from all over Africa to come and occupy the land in Yoruba land. And in another form, the same in their statement. Did you hear where they systematically put it in there that the state government should work with the federal government and create a modern way of cattle rearing in form of ranching? That is Ruga. Ruga that we have successfully pushed back. They will never have any Ruga in Yoruba land. Forget it. You see these guys, make them give them the Ruga now. Let's see. Any of the governors in Yoruba land, let them just be bold enough and come out and just say, we have created a Ruga in this area. We heard that Seyi Makinde in Oyo is creating one, and I hope it's not true. We heard that them in Ekiti, they are also creating one, and I hope it's not true. You know why I said I hope it's not true? Ekiti state government just imported some cows from America to fill in their ranch. So that makes sense. Fine. Because you know the Ruga they are looking for is they are not looking for ranches. If they are looking for ranches, their governors have money to build ranches for them in the north, build irrigation system for them. They said they are looking for grass. They can build irrigation. How are they, watering their cities and their homes? Is it not from the water from the ground? Yes, they can build irrigation with so much money they have collected from Nigeria. But for the past 6 years, no single one of them has built one Ruga. The intention is to create local government in Yoruba land, Fulani local government in Igbo land. And this is not being hateful. It is something that will later consume you. And what you don't want to do now is what you will do next. Did you hear them mention our people that got that are now refugees in Benin Republic? Did you hear that in that press release? Are they pretending that they don't know? From February, when people have been chased out of Ojaodon. Ojaodon rather. In Ogun State, Yewa North local government area of Ogun State, many communities ransacked. And when they tried to fight back, the Nigerian military went there and they beat them silly. Now, most of those communities, they are now refugees in Benin Republic. Did you hear that from their speech? They don't care. What they were doing is that they were trying to act, cooperate, or loyal to their Fulani oligarch because of 2023. And that is not being hateful. Somebody, you see, don't mind those Lagos Abobakus, okay? Tifnumbu succeed. If there's anything you have to give to Tifnumbu overall in Yoruba land, is that he succeeded in destroying education in Yoruba land. Now we have graduates that are unemployable. Do you understand that? They are unemployed because they are unemployable. They destroyed it, destroyed everything, refused to fund it. And today, people are going through education in Yoruba land like they are fighting, when you are passing through what the Israelites faced when they were escaping from Pharaoh. Do you get that now? That's exactly what education is like in Nigeria, in Yoruba land, where Awolowo once made education free to tertiary institution, to the tertiary level. In that same Yoruba land, go and see them now. Go and see their learning areas. Yorubas are the governors. For 22 years, Yorubas have been the governors of Yoruba land. Yorubas have been the representatives, senators representing Yoruba land. They have been the House of Rep members representing Yoruba land. Those who are making laws in Yoruba in Yoruba state, or those House of Assembly state, they've been Yorubas. Are you with me? Which simply means those who are writing budget for the past 22 years in Yoruba land, they have been Yorubas. And Tifnumbu has been the ringleader. So if you see anybody abusing me, calling me names, that is the most they can do. What you should tell yourself is that feel sorry for them, okay? Feel sorry for them if you can, okay? Because you don't want to be in their situation. Their situation is so hopeless. Do you understand that now? I have seen educated people who have been collecting just because they made them ticket collector in local government. If you say anything about Tifnumbu, Baba, if he has a chance, he will kill you. We have many of them who are Agberus, but they are wearing nice shirts. They have Facebook profile. Sometimes they dress nice. You see them, they are jobless, but they are driving cars. They are Agbero touts, political options that are just freeloaders as their leaders. They are waiting for their leaders to so that it will be their turn. You know, those I told you, those who are not really, they are not really it's not because they hated all this oppression and fraudulent, government. No, it's because they are not the ones eating them now. Some of them are waiting. They are waiting. They want to be councillors. They want to be chairmen. They want to be this. They want to be that. So that they too, they can unleash their own oppression and then boast and thank God. Do Thanksgiving. You know what I'm talking about? Because that is what Tifnumbu built in 22 years of them destroying Yoruba land. And many of us believe that there are consequences for all this. Part of the consequences is that Yoruba land are now so exposed that we are no longer safe in our own on our own land. And those who continue to tell you that they are fighting for Yoruba, you saw them. Those are the old, fragile, and dying men. How can those ones speak for me? Like, genuinely. What then is the essence of my existence and my youthful existence when I have to look up to the likes of Tifnumbu, the likes of Oshoba, the likes of Akonde, and the likes of other legbegbe, dying, greedy scums. I mean, I am a Yoruba son, a very, very, very bona fide Omoluabi, until these guys brought praise singing. All right, sir. Baba, sir. God. And they brought all these, their praise singing, pastors, imams that continue to, you know what I'm talking about. And they invested more in miseducating them. Now, how do you think they want to see me? People who have clinged their hope in the hopeless situation that they have found themselves. Those who have now turned to miracle purchasers. When anything happened to them, they will tell you, oh, it's the miracle. Because it can only be miracle for them to have a good life. Imagine having to wait for a miracle to have a good life, exist like a human being, right? And then you watch this wretched old gang make decision for you. They say waiting elders see when they sit down. A young man cannot see it when he's standing on a tree. Are you mad? Waiting the elder they see. Where are the elders? How many of those elders, Obasanjo and Co., how many of them saw that today our people will begin to run away to Benin Republic? And when they saw it that we are going to end up running to Benin Republic in the future, how come they didn't tell us so that we can be prepared? Now they are now begging the people sending us to Benin Republic, sending our people to their early graves. They are now calling on them to come and stop to save us. Àwọn àgbà òṣì, àwọn àgbà àyà, àwọn àgbà rádaràda, àwọn àgbà ìṣẹ́, àwọn olórí burúkú èèyàn. And when you see all these young boys, when you see all these young men who are defending all these lifeless old hags, they themselves, one day they will be older, and they will also expect, the people will think, oh, he's an old man, maybe he's intelligent. Which intelligence? Manipulative intelligence, manipulative and then fraudulent intelligence. What Agbalagba see sitting down. One young boy cannot see it, even if he climbed to Kilimanjaro. What are you seeing? Did you see it that today our children are going to end up in the hands of terrorists? Did you? Somebody said, Maiyegun, you should sometimes be diplomatic. I'm like, well, I am sometimes diplomatic. Do you get that now? Sometimes is the right word. Being diplomatic when your own intelligence is being insulted. That's what I see it as. When you tell me to listen to old men who actually sat and partied, they dined and wined with Bukwari, and they couldn't see through that one day Yorubas are going to end up as refugees in Benin Republic. And when you look at those cretins, when you look at those street urchins, when you look at those agberos, all these Facebook bandits, social media artsmen, all these Buhari idiots, when you look at them and they ask you, why don't you go and bring somebody to come and do it? And you're like, why should I bring anybody to come and do it? When you still have those rogues and criminals parading themselves as those who knows what they are doing, why you continue to get mud? Why? Then I'm like, okay, I shouldn't be asking. Many of them, they are now, most of them are actually like walking corpses. Many of them go to that Lagos, go to that everywhere. The frustration, young people, we who have been frustrated by the economy, frustrated by the country, and they are so hopeless. They are so hopeless that they will do anything, everything to stay alive, to survive for the next day. The same ones are those that will, because of Congo of rice, 1,000 naira, and all of that, they will want to kill just to prove to you that you should not insult Tifnumbu. Do you understand that now? I mean, you can hear Yoruba. You see the one that is still shaking, that his hand is shaking. You see Bokwari, the lifeless breathing mannequin. All right? The people of Katsina State, they have realized that there is a cause. That maybe as those who are faithful or religious, it is a cause to them. Their children are being kidnapped every day. As they kidnap a villager, they are kidnapping Emir. As they are killing Imam, they are killing Sheikh. You know what I'm talking? They even kidnap Bokwari's in-law. So all that matters now is that just give your own, you just use your own Lagos Omolanke and push your own Tifnumbu to go and live in the old people home in your asshole rock. You see, they can shut down your Lagos anytime. They will begin to pick you up one by one in your Lagos now. For those who are smart enough, do not trust these criminals. They cannot be trusted. These are the same old ag that said they will work with you. They will build a country. They will build a Nigeria that never corrupt. They will do this and that. The same old agad criminals are now telling you they believe in one Nigeria, pleading with Boko Haram to give them true federalism. Oh, Lori Rock.
We will work with you to build a Nigeria that is not corrupt. I bring you a message of hope.
We are going to spend a lot of resources on education.
Àwọn àgbà Yahoo, you know those they call àgbà Yahoo. Àwọn àgbà ibi, àwọn ẹni ibi tí ń pọnmọ wẹ̀. Àwọn àgbà àyà, àgbà òfò, àgbà rádaràdá. Àwọn kí ló máa ń pè wọ́n yìí náà? Wọ́n máa ń pè wọ́n ní àwọn àgbà méèrí, àgbà lọ́wọ́ méèrí, baálẹ̀ jòǹtóló, àwọn big pocket, àwọn scroungers, àwọn freeloaders, jobless, unproductive animals. And, you know, I'm being nice, by the way. You know why? Because as I'm saying all this, many of the Tifnumbu, Lagos, Abobaku that are watching me right now, they are raging. If them burn you well, throw that phone at me. Oh yeah, do it. Throw your phone at me. Because you guys are so much in the boat that you cannot sense and smell the danger around you. MC Olueron of Lagos will run away. By the time those that are their sleeping cells, the Fulani terrorists and their sleeping cell in Yoruba land are finally unleashed, they are not even bold enough to even say something about what is going on in Yoruba land. They want to prove to be one Nigeria, one Nigeria, one Nigeria, one Nigeria. It is so sad and unfortunate. Unfortunately, all these Oshogbu Alimajiris, all these Facebook bandits, social media admin, all these guys, Buhari idiot, the cyberbarians, and all of them, they are going to be the victims. They are going to use them as the statistics when they say 14 people kidnapped. When you count the names, you will never see Tifnumbu's son there. You probably will never see the son of Akiolu Oba Lagoon. Oshoba's son will probably not be there. Or maybe he will be there. Because they killed Emir's son just yesterday. The guy just recently got married. They killed him. America warned us then. They said ISIS, they will invade the southern Nigeria from 2021. And by the beginning of 2022, it will be a miracle if Nigeria doesn't start a civil war. Now, look at it. The ISIS that they told us were going to attack southern Nigeria. They are already in eastern Nigeria. They are wearing the Nigerian military uniform. They are carrying Nigerian military weapon. They are driving Nigerian military armor tank. They are flying Nigeria Air Force fighter jets, and they are bombarding people in eastern Nigeria as we speak. And tell me, if this is going to last till 2021 and it won't turn to civil war by the beginning of 2022, and that will eventually give them what they want. Your Tifnumbu that is so scared right now because everything that is wrong with Nigeria now, they are blaming him for it. And he is so scared, so rattled, so scared, like he's back in his small cocoon that is dragging everybody in to gain a small public statement to say, I am with you, sir. Boko Haram, I am with you, sir. Immediately, Tifnumbu and co. Immediately they released that statement. You know what happened? Boko Haram, they call it presidency. And I've told you, who are the presidency? Garbage Shehu is the presidency. Femi Oponu Adesina is the deputy presidency. The rest are the cabal. So you see those two, they are the puppets. The puppeteers who are pulling the string. That's where you find the Malamun, Isa Malamun, the senior advocate of Nama. You get what I mean now? So the presidency responded immediately after Tifnumbu and gang gave their useless insulting statement to tell us that they were against those who are agitating for Oodua Republic. And I hope my brother, Yinka Grandiot, I hope he's watching too. For years, my good brother, Adeyinka Grandiot, he was everywhere. He was telling people, Tinubu is their leader. Tinubu is leader of Oodua Republic. And probably he's talking about another republic that Shangodele. I think they call him Shangodele. That's the name of Tinubu. We don't know the republic they're talking about. And Tinubu came out today, probably to tell all the, what they call them, Yolicom, Yinka and his guys, Yolicom. I hope the Yolicom that in their own Oodua Republic, that made Tinubu their general commander, general whatever nonsense in their head and in their psychiatric ward, wherever they are, I hope they can now see that Tinubu has actually denounced Oodua Republic. It is not the one that the true sons and daughters of Oodua land, the true sons and daughters of Yoruba land are beginning to find their feet, find their bearing to tell Nigeria that it is enough. We are not going to be begging. Why should we be begging? If not because the likes of Tinubu turned out to beggars. Even Gandola, the Babariga mobile banking CEO of Kano, Gandola, even Gandola publicly came out and he said, tell all of them, we know one Fulani in Nigeria again. It go shock you. Gandola can say this. Tinubu, your almighty Tinubu, chickened out, demented. Hey, recruit. 50 million youth. What are they going to eat? Cassava, agbado, corn. They have it in the morning. Cassava in the morning, agbado in the afternoon. And we have them here. That is the demented Tinubu that cannot speak for Yoruba. And you as a Yoruba person, you are feeling angry because I'm talking like this. Ori eti daru. Maybe they didn't tell you. All right? Ori oti daru. Tikpe. And I hope that your children will not be like you. Your children, the offspring, that will be so difficult. But if your children ended up having to hear this video, maybe they are in their bedroom now. You are watching this video. Your children should be so ashamed of you that you're one of those who are actually pushing this one Nigeria because of the greed and selfishness, short-sightedness of just one person, a demented criminal. No, Gandola had this to say. Listen.
We have to take some drastic measures. Otherwise, we are just scratching the problem on the back. We must understand these issues. There are ECOWAS problems. As of now, there are ECOWAS problems. So through ECOWAS, there must be a means of either registering the cattle that are coming into Nigeria or preventing the movement of cattle into Nigeria. That is a fact, because they come with weapons. Initially, they were coming with weapons to protect themselves from the clash with the farmers. But now they've taken advantage, coming with weapons that they sell into the country, a part of using the weapons to commit a crime. That is one herdsman that we must look into. Two, there are herdsmen that are coming from the northern part of this country to the middle belt, to the southern part of the country. It's the same problem, because there is always conflict across the country. And the way I describe the herdsman is that a herdsman in Nigeria has not succeeded in fighting poverty. And poverty has not succeeded in fighting the herdsman. Why do I say that? The herdsman who goes about with hundreds of cattle, looking at the cost of cattle, he's going with a mobile bank. So you cannot call him a poor man. But looking at his body, looking at the type of dresses, the dresses that he puts, the shoes that he wears, his body, you cannot call him a rich man. He's exactly a poor man. Somebody who can trek from Kano to Ogun State. You cannot call him a rich man. He's a poor man. So the movement by trekking from northern part of this country to the southern part of this country must be stopped. If we need peace with the farmers, but if we are led by sentiments, ethnic sentiments, herdsmanship must change from tradition to commercial herdsmanship. It must translate to commercial, not to tradition. Those days are gone. I know some of the members of the Mieti Allah Association may not be happy with my statement, but I have to make it. I am Fulani man. Myself, like them, I learned Hausa in primary school.
So to prove to you that, well, they learned Hausa just to take over Hausa land. That's a story for another day. But you heard him. It must stop. At least, did you see energy in what he was saying? And compared to what Akonde was reading, which one will be more convincing to you? I mean, genuinely. Let me share something with you. For you to really know that it is over, tell your neighbor, it is what? It is over. They caught this guy. I want you to listen to his story. They caught this guy. He's a supplier from Niger Republic. But remember when the Bauchi state governor said they were welcome because they believe that Nigeria is their country. They will learn the local language. They will try to blend. And then they will what? Unleash the war. Well, they caught this guy. And the report.
Hello and welcome. This is TVC News at 10. We'll begin in Zamfara State, where a shocking revelation was made earlier today by a 30-year-old notorious gun runner, Shehu Ali Kachala. In his confession, Mr. Kachala said a military personnel gives him cover to deliver arms to criminals in their hideout. The suspect says he has sold 450 rifles as well as 8,000 live ammunition to different criminal gangs in Zamfara, Kaduna and Niger State. The Nigerian citizen who has been in Nigeria supporting bandits with weapons says he has been importing weapons from Niger Republic for the past 3 years. Theophilus Darufai reports.
The influx of weapons into Nigeria has contributed to the spread of insecurity in almost all parts of the country. Many still wonder how criminals have access to deadly weapons to perpetrate evil, but this 30-year-old Nigerian citizen says he imports weapons from Niger Republic through the assistance of a military personnel who gives him cover at security checkpoints. According to him, he has sold 450 rifles, 8,000 live ammunition, and other deadly weapons to criminal groups in Zamfara and other states of the Northwest region. He made the confessional statement when he was arrested by troops of the Federal Intelligence Investigation Bureau in Gusau, the Zamfara state capital. He used to import the guns from Niger Republic. There is a military personnel who usually give me cover, especially at the checkpoints. I sold 450 rifles and 8,000 live ammunition to different criminal gangs in Zamfara, Kaduna and Niger states. According to him, he developed interest in the business because of the high profit and turnover. He says he gains nothing less than 300,000 naira on each rifle sold, but the profit usually depends on the type of rifle. I sell rifles between 600,000 to 1 million naira depending on the make. I also sell ammunition at 1,100 naira each.
Did you hear that? A military man giving him cover, and he's managed to bring in, to sell over 450 rifles and 8,000 round of ammunition. Ammunition or round of is the bullet. So they sell one bullet for 1,200 naira, right? And that business, this is the one they claim to have arrested. Don't forget the story. The whole story will end. We all know that the countries that are pretending to be helping Nigeria to fight Boko Haram, they are actually the recruiting cell for the Boko Haram and all these terrorists in the entire region. But you know what? It suits the agenda of the jihadist apologists in power in Nigeria, so they can give them cover, right? And this is the situation in that country. Imagine, the people have more guns than the police. They have more guns than the military. Your military are still using the cock and pull, kick and start guns. Some of them can't even fight. Many of them have been killed while they are struggling with their rifle because they jammed while they are shooting. Many, many stories, horrible stories from the soldiers in the war front. All these were deliberate while they opened the door for smuggling, gun running, to continue to fuel and fund. And when you look at all the guns, you will realize that they will have the French seal. Most of the weapons are coming from where? They are coming from Europe. They are coming from Europe down to Libya and down to this region. And there is a very big, massive market where terrorism is being, groomed. I don't know if they told you the story of how the governor of Chad duped Goodluck Jonathan of about $80 million. It's a story for another day. It was an effort when Jonathan was there and desperate. And what do you call him? The president of Chad is dead now. So they dummy to Jonathan that he could help them release the Chibok girls. And he was also going to broker peace with the Boko Haram. He collected money. He never met Jonathan's delegate again. It's a story for another day. We'll talk about it someday. So the danger of all of this is that nobody is safe anymore. And this is why. Look at this. This is from Abuja, Kaduna Expressway today. Is the situation in Nigeria for those who can come out to show us. Watch this.
Police was shooting guns. Soldier was coming here and soldier was telling them they must stop. We can't sleep in our house. The amount of people that have car, they can't move again. Imagine, we can't sleep in our house. We don't have fun. Man of man, the man the house, and the government to the system. They request for 100 million. So we are fighting for our life in this country. This thing must stop. Chairman come here this morning and bring this police. Police was shooting guns. Among of soldiers come here this morning. He announced his workers that there's no gun shoot. One among of soldiers want to shoot gun. Their commissioner was here slapping the soldier. So this soldier now, we not need this thing anymore. So we have to stop it. No, we have to stop.
The anger, you see, let me tell you what will explode Nigeria. Nigeria is a country where the young people, they have bottled anger, suppressed anger, where the oppressors believe that with the power of gun and bullets, they can keep suppressing that anger, keep suppressing it. With the help of social media, with the help of platforms like this, the people will devise means of how to break that system. That's where we are going to. Your Tinubu want to be president, Tabi? Well, we shall see. We shall see. Right? I mean, not when people like this. Sorry if you don't understand Yoruba. I'll try to interpret a little bit when I get back, okay? This happened in Abeokuta, where Oshoba, the man in that video earlier, talking about one Nigeria, where he lives and he comes from.
Daddy. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá bá mi gbé fóònù yẹn sí bá mi gbé sọ́dọ̀ mi ṣó ti start yẹn. Mo ti start. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá nílé lóko níbikíbi tẹ́ ẹ wà ní báyìí a wà ní orí títì tó lọ sí Abẹ́òkúta láti Ìṣàgá orílẹ̀ ẹni tí wọ́n gbé tẹ́ bá rò pé bóyá yẹ̀yẹ́ ni wọ́n ṣe tán ni wọ́n ń gbé yàn ẹ̀yin tí ẹ gbàgbọ́ tọ́dẹ̀ máa wá kanlẹ̀kùn yàrá tiyín sójú títì náà ti ń gbàwọn èèyàn sí wọ́n máa wá kanlẹ̀kùn yàrá tiyín ni ṣe rí ọkọ ẹni tó gbé ìyàwó ẹ̀ lọ ní ọkọ ẹni tí wọ́n gbé táwọn Fúlàní gbé ìyàwó ẹ̀ lọ lálẹ́ yìí ni àwọn inú gbọ́tẹ̀lé wọn àárí wọn mú ní báyìí ẹ wo bó ṣe dá ẹni ẹlẹ́ni sàdánwò bí ẹni yìí ṣe dúró báyìí tó ń sunkún bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Buhari wàá rógun ẹkún o wàá rógun òṣè wàá rógun ìyà jágbájá tìjàtì á jẹ́ tiẹ̀ nítorí pé ó mú àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ní orí ilẹ̀ bàbá wa òun ni wá lára ara ni ẹ́ gbogbo nǹkan tó bá ń ṣe tó ti ń jẹ́ fún ẹ kò ní jẹ́ mọ́ àfi tí ò bá ṣe ewé àti egbò náà fi ń ṣe ló bá jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ bí ṣe wí lálẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ló ṣe máa rí àròọ́rọ̀ mọ́ ẹjọ́ ẹ bá mi sọ orúkọ ìyàwó yín kẹ́dẹ̀ júwe bó ṣe rí.
Wàhálà àwọn tó jápa mọ́ wọn lọ́wọ́ bí àwọn méjì ni o bọ̀ wọ́n ti gbé kan lọ́wọ́ wọ́n ń kọ́fà ẹ̀.
So, sorry if you probably didn't understand the Yoruba there. Okay, I will try to interpret a bit. You see that man crying? That happened along Ishaga and Abeokuta. Okay, they were travelers. So they were attacked and they took his wife. People pursued them, but they couldn't match them. Now his wife is now in the hands of the Fulani kidnappers. This was yesterday, I believe. And the woman was pretty much telling everybody, all of you who don't believe that this is happening, you are lucky that we have an opportunity of sharing these small, short videos, just to let you have an idea of what is going on in that place. That you don't believe. The woman said, don't worry, they will still come to, they are kidnapping people on the street now, taking them into the forest. They will come into your different houses. In Abuja now, they go into their houses. You see all those small towns outside Abuja, they are now then, and they are now praised for the for the kidnappers. Now they are praised for the kidnappers who are now hunting them. So the woman said, and then she added some prayer to Bokuwari. So I'm going to take a quick, just one break, and that break is with this Bible verse. No, don't let me use Bible verse because it's a fake pastor. So let's use fake pastor Shibade's religious book to say this.
Praise the Lord. This country will change February 14, 2015. There is no doubt at all that this country will see a change. I'm happy that you will witness that change. I'm happy that you will be alive to see that change. It will be a change from the unemployment we have now to jobs for young people. No light, no power, there will be power. Everything that a government should do, this government, the new government of General Buhari will do. Don't let anybody tell us lies and deceive us about religion. You and I know that the most important thing is that when the righteous are in power, the people rejoice. Let me ask you a question. Are you rejoicing now? Under this government, are you rejoicing?
Under Bokuwari, are you rejoicing? Oh, it's so shameful when you see these sufferhead boys when they come out on social media asking some dumb questions that their own fathers, their mothers, are ashamed to even ask anybody. Imagine you seeing your son on social media defending Tinubu, the son that you raised, the one that you suffered to raise, sent to school, is typing English on Facebook, defending Tinubu, defending all the Agberos, defending all these rogues, and in fact, defending Bukuari. If you are a parent, if you are a father, how are you going to feel? Like, you can never be my son. You are still coming to me to collect feeding money, Jara, and you go on Facebook defending Buhari. You can never be my son. You know, if I have any son who is doing it, that's how I'm going to feel like, I raised you to be a responsible, smart thinker, not an ass licker, crumb eater, crumb chaser, all right, sir. Baba Sokpe, or turn yourself to hallelujah boys for the same people who have made you a waste investment for your fathers and your mothers. Now you are jobless or you are struggling. But again, you are still wasting that little life you have to defend the people that put you in that situation. If I am your father, I'm going to disown you. I mean, that's me. I'm not talking about your father, because your father may be proud of you, like father like son, like mother like daughter, as they say in Yoruba land. But as long as people like us live, we will continue to demystify the people who have stolen our own future. Somebody say, did Tinubu steal from you? That is why Lagos State is generating over 400 billion naira a year, and you don't have any public drinking, reliable, safe water. You are still... Don't let me even go there, because it's just going to make it worse. Okay? They turned your Lagos to mega slum. They said it's a mega city. How far our people from Dolphin Estate, our people from Aja, all of you watching me from your Ikoyi residence, how far with those boys with their Okada? Are you going to call on Jaga Bandit or Jaga Wiri to come and help you tell all those Okada people that you are now you're now protesting and doing a TV interview, asking government to come and do something? You have no idea. Just wait. You are going to come back to say, you see that Maiyegun, that guy with his big mouth, he kept saying that Lagos State is the mega slum of Africa, not mega city, mega slum, mega slum. Baba, now when we sleep inside the house, we have to put Holy Ghost at the gates, even though Musa the gate. You know what I'm talking about? You're all going to come to that reality very soon. You will realize that your safe haven, that small space you created for yourself, that world, has been stolen from you. And you are calling yourself elite. We'll go see. We will demystify them. Nobody will listen to them, except for those who are eating crumbs from them, the ass lickers, all right? The Buhari idiots and co. But the real Yorubas, or more core Yorubas, they will not be part of an arrangement that will sacrifice our people, kill our people, just because somebody wants to be president. Hello? We will fight it. Maybe you don't understand. Just wait and watch. Okay? So if you call it a rant, then you have no idea that if Tinubu is confident, all these things, he's pushing himself, trying to prove a point, that if he's good, if he's sure of himself, it will not be licking the ass of Bukuari. It will be man enough. Let him be man enough. He's never been a man. He's been a fraud. I'm going to see you again tomorrow. If you have the time, join me. If you don't have the time, you will see my video somehow around you. Watch them. Until I see you again, stay safe. Stay away from the likes of APC, Egbekegbe, and their cohort. They are contagious. And what they are suffering from is what we have been trying to heal many people they have contaminated, to heal them from this contamination. Do not ever get anywhere closer with that ideology of these likes of Tinubu and co. Yorubas deserves better. And if nobody can speak on our behalf, to defend us, they should never drag us into their lifelong, selfish, personal, greedy, hopeless dream. And that's where I'm going to end the broadcast today. So I'm going to see you tomorrow, and we will open the line tomorrow. I really needed this rant. And I think I'm done. I'm done now. So thank you so much for your time. Until I see you again, stay safe and good night.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ba bá gbé wúrẹ́ Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì Maiyegun ti dé. Bíjó ìgbádìyẹ Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì Maiyegun ti dé. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì Maiyegun ti dé. Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì Maiyegun ti dé. Òkúra olóṣèlú Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lé ibo níṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́. Ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì o. ẹ̀yin bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran.